Just a few notes from me before you hear from your teacher. Firstly, welcome to what we hope will be a successful and happy, prosperous 2021 for everyone. May the Lord bless your households, your families, your businesses, your jobs, and may He protect us all and keep us safe throughout these crazy times. So the first note is times. School opens at 7 and we ask that children are here no later than 8:30 sharp. That is when all the doors close and the teachers go into their classes and they start work with their children. We ask that your children are not late for class time. This is the time when the teachers sit down and chat about their day, chat about what they're going to learn about, whether it be the theme, they do their morning prayers, they do their morning routine, which is going through the colors, going through the shapes, obviously depending on what is age appropriate. If your child is late, they miss out on a certain amount of work that is being discussed. And then eventually, after a few days of missing out on the same thing, they will eventually start falling behind. So we ask that they please be here no later than 8:30. With the COVID protocols, if your child or you is sick, we ask that you please stay at home until your doctor has confirmed that it is not COVID and or anything contagious, and then your child can come back to school. Obviously, if you have been in contact with someone that has COVID, please quarantine for 10 days. If you think that you might have COVID, please keep your child at home. Do not bring your little one to school. I know it can be hard for our working parents out there, but please, this thing will not go away if we don't all work together. We have to keep our children, our families, and our staff safe. So please be careful and be responsible. Part of growing up is bumps and bruises, and I'm sure you all know, growing up, we all had them. We had scrapes on our knees and we climbed trees. Now, as parents, we have our little ones that we want to bubble wrap so that they don't get hurt. But it is part of growing up. Obviously, my staff and teachers are out on the playground, in the classrooms, and they are vigilant and they are watching your child's every move. But there are things that happen within a split second. Even just as we are trying to stop it from happening, it happens just like that. So we will try our best to prevent and scratches and fallings and bump and pushes. We will always do our best to prevent that from happening to your little one. But please bear with them as they grow, that there will be bumps, there will be bruises, there will be falls, there will be pushes, there will be interactions with other children that might not go so wonderfully. And that is how they are learning to be social and what is right in a social situation. And that's where we also step in. We will always tell you what happens. And if we miss a little scratch on their leg or a bump, it's because your little one is so resilient that they have maybe fallen and we've checked and there was nothing, and then later on there was maybe a bruise. But they were so resilient that they didn't cry, they didn't show any signs of distress. So please bear with your little ones as they're growing up. As they go from class to class, they become more mature, they become more adventurous and a lot more brave. Our job is to protect them, but to also allow them to follow through with those adventures and allow them to follow through with the challenges that the playground provides. Another topic is screen time, which I'm sure all parents are very familiar with and have heard of. We ask that during the week, from Mondays to Fridays, especially during term, that you please cut down on screen time and sugar. Yes. So obviously before they come to school, if they can have a nice good breakfast, preferably some scrambled eggs or even some prenutro or something solid that will keep them going through the day, but something that doesn't have too much sugar, like for example a bowl of Cocoa Pops. The more sugar they have in the morning, the less they are going to concentrate in class while teacher is busy having her ring time. Whether they are 1 year old or whether they are 6. Sugar does play a big part in how their brain is developing and how their concentration is going to be for that day. Screen time does exactly the same thing. The more screen time they have, whether it be at night when they come home from school, or whether it be in the mornings, the less screen time they have, the more they'll be able to concentrate, because the more their brain is being stimulated. I know it sometimes doesn't feel like it. Being a mom myself, having your children at home with the TV off and, well, all electronics off, and letting them just play can drive you just a teeny weeny little bit crazy. But even if they are washing your walls and making the biggest of messes just so that you can do what you need to do, then let them do that. Their brains are being stimulated and are working a lot more than if you just had to put them in front of a TV. So we ask that you please cut down on screen time. It is vitally important, especially up to the age of 7. Their neurons in their brains during the first 7 years are busy working and rubbing together and forming new neurons in their brain. So the more screen time they have, the less the brain has a chance in order to carry on producing and being stimulated. When you get the visual aids from your teachers, especially my older age groups, my seniors, we encourage you to please put those visual aids up. Let them be up the whole year, and they will absorb whatever concepts your teacher is busy working with, instead of just putting them in front of the TV. Obviously, I'm not saying that we are in a perfect world and TV doesn't exist. Instead of maybe using sweets or buying a toy as a form of a reward, then rather use screen time as a reward. So if they've really had a fantastic week and Friday comes and they've been so good at home, they've been helping with picking up their toys, even my 2-year-olds and my 1-year-olds in Teacher Ashleigh's class, you can start teaching them a little bit of responsibility. We know they're still so small, and we know we want to baby them and we want to mommy them so much because they are babies. But even from just 1 year old, teach them a little bit of responsibility at home. When they finished playing with their toys, they must tidy up their toys, because the same thing is being done at school. So we prefer whatever we do at school, that it be reiterated with at home. Just like the same values and principles and love that you give your children at home, you expect us to give here at school, which we do every day, and we pride ourselves in that care and that love. So we need to work together in order to make sure that our children's holistic development is complete and has had a solid foundation built in this foundation phase, in this small little stage of their life, which unfortunately they won't remember us after they leave. But our job and our sole purpose is to make sure that that solid foundation is hard and strong to carry on building the pillars that they are going to use in the primary school and high school stages. Which brings me to my next topic of working with your teachers. There will be a few times during the year that your teachers will ask you for things. For example, the pictures that we need of your little one and your family. There will be times when we are discussing a theme and we would like for you to discuss that theme at home with them as well. Even for my little 1-year-olds, when we're learning about the body, let's talk about the body at home. Let's get a picture up on the wall and let's learn where our eyes are, where our ears are. For my older ones, when we're learning about the body, moms and dads in the car talk about where your organs are. What do your lungs do? What does your nose do? What are the functions? Instead of just finding out, because by now, when they're big, they already know where everything is. Let's talk about the function of it. Let's push their boundaries. Let's push that knowledge a bit more, because they are sponges and they will absorb it. During the year, your teachers are assessing every single day, from gross motor to perceptual to cognitive, social, emotional, every single area of their development. In the week that we've been open, teachers have already been able to pick up which children need a little bit of extra care in certain areas. They will be chatting with you and asking you to play games at home. We don't assess in a formal way. How we assess is through play and through games. That's how the teachers can then pick up. So when they're learning, and to make it fun for them to want to learn more, we ask that you play games. You don't have to go buy expensive books or expensive games. A lot of the things that are taught can be done just verbally or just with simple things like getting pictures from a magazine. If they are learning about the letter A, like this week, Teacher Sabrina's class and Teacher Monique's class, they will be learning about the letter A. Some of them will be going on to the letter B for Bouncy Ben. Moms and dads at home, go through the pictures and ask them which pictures start with the sound that they are learning, and then let them cut it out, even if they cut skew and it's not for marks. It's just also then at the same time they're learning and they are sharpening their scissor skills. So just play little games with them, allow them to boost their knowledge. Our job is to provide them with the tools needed in order to get there. As some of you may know, my teachers have got 2 afternoons off a week, which will be the same afternoons for the rest of the year. During the afternoons, when they are here, please feel free to chat to your teacher about anything. If you have any queries, if you just want to know how your little one's been doing, please feel free. If obviously we all can't be outside now with the protocols, only Tace is outside in the afternoons, and then he calls whoever, and then the teacher brings that one. But otherwise, you don't see all the teachers in the afternoon because we're all at the back. We have to look after the kiddies. So in the afternoon, if you see, you can always ask Tace, is Teacher Sabrina here? Is Teacher Jamie here? Please can I chat with them? And then we'll come and chat with you. We are so excited to chat with you about your little one because we love them dearly and we only want what's best for them. Which also brings me to my next topic. If for any reason your teacher suggests any form of therapy, the 3 main therapies that are sometimes needed in this field is speech therapy, occupational therapy, and physio. Those are the 3 fields. The one, speech, deals with language, vocabulary, and the pronunciation of words. It's everything as well as auditory processing. Okay. Occupational therapy deals also with auditory processing, but also mainly focuses on the body and the fine motor skills, and as well works on the cognitive skills. So if there's any concepts that your little one is battling with severely, for example, like the letters, the numbers, they aren't grasping, no matter how much the teacher is playing games, no matter how much you are playing games, the concrete and the abstract work goes hand in hand, and our teachers do them every single week. The concrete work is always done before the abstract. Abstract work is on paper. Concrete work is done with their bodies. So playing games, forming with shaving cream, with rice, with mealie meal, with going outside and forming with their bodies. That's all concrete work. Abstract work is when, after they've learned that concept with their bodies, then they go into on paper, and then they start learning how to trace, how to draw, how to, then it goes from Koki to paper. That is the abstract. Okay, so we always do the concrete first, and we ask that you do concrete as well. And the only reason we would ever recommend therapy is if they really, really need it, and we have tried everything. We have tried months of work with them, and they still are not grasping the concepts, or they are still very weak in those areas. Eventually, if we leave it for too long, we will have to play catch up. And then during that time where they have to catch up, the teacher still needs to introduce the other concepts that's on the curriculum for the rest of the year. And then they won't be able to grasp those concepts because they're still trying to catch up on the skills they haven't mastered. So when your teacher recommends any type of therapy, I know as a parent it is quite a hard pill to swallow. My son had to do OT and had to do physio for 2 years, and it is an initial block. It is an initial shock to your system because you think, oh my gosh, what have I done wrong as a parent? What is wrong with my child? And we are not saying that there's anything wrong with your little one. The sooner a child starts therapy, the sooner they will end it. If a 3-year-old, for example, has a lisp and starts speech therapy, they will be done within months. Whereas if we leave it until they are 5 years old to start speech therapy, it will take years to correct that bad habit that has been forming in their mouths for such a long period of time. So that is the only reason any therapy will ever be suggested. No, the school does not receive any cutbacks from the therapists. We work closely with the 3 therapists at Therapy Works. We do that. We work closely with them and we recommend them because we know that they are good. We do not get a cutback from them for any child that receives therapy. A lot of the therapists are happy to come to the school and do therapy at the school with them. I have a few little ones doing speech therapy once a week. The therapist comes here, sits in my office, and does one-on-one sessions with them. Same thing with the physio and the occupational therapist. You are more than welcome to always go find your own therapist that you personally know, or you know someone who knows. You are more than welcome to. And we are happy to always work with them. It's always better that the therapists and the teachers and parents work together to ensure. I'm almost done, hang in there. So one of the things that we always have done is plan the events for the whole year. And then I give you an events fee in January, and it must be paid before the end of Feb. And then it's all the events for the rest of the year, whether it be our school trips, the magician, the farm animals coming to visit, whatever event I plan, I put it all in there, then it's covered for the rest of the year. Unfortunately this year, because of the lockdown and the level 3 and the uncertainty of where this COVID situation is taking our country to, I'd rather not give you a fee up front for the whole year, just in case we have to cancel a few events. As I see we can plan an event and we are allowed to bring someone in, then I will give you the fee for that specific thing on its own, and then you just pay. So it will almost be like a pay-as-you-go situation. So that is how we're going to treat the events this year, only because with the whole uncertainty of where the country is headed with this COVID situation. With school fees, just a friendly reminder that school fees are paid in advance, not in arrears. So they are paid on or before the 7th of that month. So for example, February is coming up. The invoices will be sent out from our third-party gentleman that will be sending out on the 25th of every month. So you should have already received your February invoice. That invoice is due and for payment before the 7th of February and not by the 25th of February. I myself do not do the invoices. If you are in arrears, I just get a list and asking me to chase money, which I must be honest is the least favorite part of my job. It's the only part that I don't love. But it's obviously necessary, unfortunately, because even though this is a home and this is a loving environment, it is also a business that we need to pay salaries and pay bonds and pay water and lights. We still need all that, and without our school fees, unfortunately, we cannot pay all those wonderful things that we need. That's it from me. Your teacher is up next. She's going to be chatting to you about what she needs from you and all the wonderful things that you can expect from her and with her in her class for 2021.
Hello everybody, this is just a short video from my side to just explain exactly what's going to happen throughout the year, our routine, everything that they, well, not everything that they're going to learn, but what we touch bases on, what's expected of them for the year. I firstly want to start by saying that I'm extremely excited to be on this journey, not only with our babies, but with you guys too. I'm excited to see what this year entails. Okay, I firstly want to start with our routine. Right now, our routine is they arrive at school. You are bringing your baby's porridge or cereal, Cerelac, whatever you are bringing, and they are eating it at 8 o'clock in the morning. So from the time that they arrive at school up until about 20 past 8, they have free play. So they get to play inside the classroom. There will be days where maybe we decide to just go and play outside, jump on the trampoline for a little bit to get them to do something different. So they play up until 20 past 8. After 20 past 8, they tidy up until 8:30. From 8:30 until 9 o'clock is our first bit of our morning ring, where we do more of a story time, introduce what we are doing, our shape, our color, things like that for the term. And then from 9 until 20 past 9 is breakfast, which is their bread and tea. The cereal that you are bringing now is had at 8 o'clock. But that is going to get dropped by mid-Feb, end Feb, beginning of March. So basically the first day of March, no more cereal will be given in the morning. Their first meal for the day will be their breakfast, which is their bread and tea at 9 o'clock. Then from 20 past 9 until 10 to 10, we have our gross motor. So we go outside, we can have ball skills, we dance, we run, we play, things like that. So anything to strengthen the body muscles. Then from 10 to 10 until about 10:30, we have our work. So whatever our shape is or our color, that's what we do for the day. We're going to do a lot of sensory activities this year. We're going to have a lot of fun. So basically the creativity work, we're going to do a lot of art, things like that. So it's not worksheets like the older kids. It's basically more fun activities, their art activities, painting, coloring in, free drawing, stamping, playing with colored pasta, playing with shaving cream. So a lot of sensory and fun activities for them to learn. It's not actual physical worksheets like the older kids. And then after that, we have lunch at 11. They eat their lunch. After their lunch, we have our wash time. They wash their face, hands, and they lay down with their bottle and their shusha, their dummy. And then we let them sleep. When they wake up, they know they just lie on their mattress or they play with toys in the classroom, but quietly. And then at about 2:15, 2 o'clock, we up and we're getting shoes on. 2:15 to 2:20, we have our snack outside. And then after their snack is free play outside. I just want to ask all the parents that pick up at 5 or late children that if you can please pack enough snack, because they do get hungry throughout the day. They used to having like a bottle at 10, lunch at 12, bottle at 2, snack at 4. So that's their old routine. Now with their new routine, they are getting a little bit more hungry. So we do feed them quite a nice big meal at lunchtime. And then what happens is they sleep really well. But then when they wake up, they're very hungry. So if you can please pack a nice variety of snacks, all healthy snacks, please. No crisps, no chocolates, no sweets. All healthy things like bananas, yogurts, or fruits, sorry, not just bananas. Fruits, yogurts, fruit sticks. You can pack a little packet of flings, cheese curls, little biscuits, things like that. So all healthy things, please. Okay. Then there are a few pointers that I'd like to just discuss with you, things that are going to be happening throughout the year in our class. Okay, first I'm going to start by explaining, well, not exactly, but basically giving you an overview of what they're going to be doing throughout the year with regards to an education. So basically we introduced the numbers 1 to 5. It is not tracing. It is not anything like that. It is more of, like I said, through sensory, which is all fun, games, counting, learning through sensory activities, learning through painting and art and things like that. So we introduced 1 to 5. The 3 colors that we learn this year are red, blue and yellow. So those 3 colors are the main colors, but obviously we do touch bases on all the colors, as the end of the year they probably know all their colors. Their shapes are triangles, circles and squares. So those are the 3 shapes that we do throughout the year. And then we do Bible activities on a Friday. Very short. We will just introduce maybe a short story to them during story time. And then we just do a nice art activity with them. We don't get into depth with Bible stories just yet because they are so young, but it's just an introduction. Okay, so that's what we do throughout the year. And then obviously I've said before, it's all through play, through sensory activities, through art, things like that. Okay, another thing that is quite important that may happen to your child, or your child may be the one, before they start talking, they're not confident within communication. So basically what can happen is they either smack, they bite, they pinch, they push, things like that, because they are frustrated and they don't understand how to verbally communicate that something is wrong. So if they are unhappy about something, they may push a kid. If their gums are bothering, they could bite. If a kid has taken a toy, they don't understand how to, or they haven't learned how to say, please, can I have my toy back? So what they do is they turn around and they just bite. It is absolutely normal at this age. Please don't think that your child is being a terror, is being naughty. It is completely normal at this age for them to do this, as they don't have the communication skills that they need. But they will they will obviously learn how to talk. Obviously we need to encourage talking. We need to actually physically talk to them, engage with them, and they will learn with time and with age and with maturity. Basically, if something does happen to your kid, I promise to always be open and honest. I promise to always inform you. As soon as it happens, I will take a picture, send it to Marisa. Marisa will then send it to you with an explanation as to what has happened. Another thing is, if you can dress your babies in old clothes that you don't mind getting dirty, stained, full of paint, when they get home, I'm sure you've noticed they are dirty. Please don't send them to school in brand new clothes. We're starting with sensory play. We're going to be doing a lot of art activities with paint. Even though it is water paint, I would rather you guys pack old clothes so that when you do see them when they get into the car, you don't get the shock of your life, because they are going to come home dirty. They touch everything goes in their mouth. They don't understand not to touch the paint on the table. They don't understand not to knock the tea over. They are going to get very dirty. It is just normal. It's part of learning. With regards to them playing outside in the sun, we put sunblock on your babies before they go and play outside, which is after breakfast, and then they get sunblock again after they wake up. Because they are only outside for about an hour, we do put SPF 50 on, so they only need sunblock once in the morning, and then when they go out again in the afternoon, which is around about 2:30 that we put the sunblock on after snacks, so that they're not eating sunblock with their snacks. Okay, another important topic is weaning. We are going to start weaning all shushes and dummies off by the end of May. So by the end of May, there's going to be, hopefully, no more babies with shushes or dummies. Nothing, hopefully. Bottles, we start in August. So basically after the winter, after the cold season, then we start weaning the bottles, which will be in August. And then our breakfast, unfortunately we are not allowing breakfast, as I've said before in the video, from the beginning of March onwards, as it is very difficult for myself, Teacher Promise and Teacher Cindy to be feeding all our babies while unpacking bags, unpacking snacks, getting yogurts to the fridge, changing bums, making sure nobody's getting hurt, making sure that everybody's okay in the class. And then also due to COVID, we are now on a roster, and as you've seen, the teachers stand in front to get all our babies. So it is a little bit difficult. So from the beginning of March, there will be no more cereal given in class. You need to please feed your babies before they come to school, and then we will give them their bread and tea at 9 o'clock. Okay. Potty training for the little ones that show readiness, we will start in September. If you have any concerns or questions about potty training, we will have, I'm going to see if hopefully COVID is over and we can have a meeting about potty training, or I'll send a note out. I will inform you before we start potty training, so that we work together both at home and at school. That is basically all that I needed to point out or to let you guys know. Your babies are my main priority. I will never do anything other than make sure that they are nurtured, loved, and given an amazing education. Well, beginning to their education and a start to their schooling career. I'm excited to be their teacher this year. You guys are all amazing, and I've enjoyed working with you all so far. If we can all just keep to the same routine at home as at school, and if there's anything happening at home that you need me to know for school, as to why they will be a little bit out of it, or niggly, or upset, or things like that, if they had bad nights and you need to let me know, please, you're more than welcome to chat to me in the morning, or you can pop me as a message and she will relay the message on to us. That is basically it. I hope you guys have a really good day further, and I'll see you soon. Bye.